ever felt like you need to push, you need to pull, you need to do some networking, you need to know this or that person to get some level of progression or recognition at your job? If you have ever felt that way, then this video is for you, and you're in fact correct for feeling that way. Because when you're dealing with corporate, you can't just be laid back about your progression, you can't just be laid back about your development. You need to take it on, you need to take it in your own hands. You can't leave everything for your manager, okay? So in today's video, I'm just going to be sharing with you 5 things you can do to get ahead in your corporate job. Now, before we get right into it, hit that subscribe button. Let's grow together. First thing you need to know is document all of your progress. Document it. Your major project that you're going to be doing, don't just take it as casual work. Now, let me tell you something. There's something called BAU. That's called business as usual. That's a normal course of your business or normal course of your activities. You need to submit that report. You need to meet up with this deadline. But on the side of that, there are major project, maybe an improvement that needs to take place, or a transition or a change in something like from what you currently are doing into something different. Don't just take that as your BAU. That is a project. That's an opportunity to leverage on your skills. That's an opportunity to prove your ability to handle big tasks, your ability to show that you can be trusted with certain things like this. So you need to document all of those progress. Don't be quiet about it. Shout about it. That was one of the things that I would say I really struggled with when I first started working in corporate. I used to be a bit, should I say, a bit too modest. What people call being humble. You do something, you go into a report, you find the problem, you fix it, life goes on, that's it. Nobody knows that you fixed it. So it doesn't feel like an improvement. It doesn't feel like you've done anything special, right? But on the flip side of things, there are colleagues that they go into, the task, and then they find a problem and they shout about it and say, everyone, there's a problem in this report. Yeah. But guess what? I'm gonna fix it. Don't worry. A day or two, they come back. Everyone, you remember that problem I mentioned? I fixed it. Yeah, I fixed it. Have you ever met people like that? I mean, obviously not in these exact terms, but there are people that are not quiet about their project. There are people that are not quiet about the improvement they're making, and you should not be, because the truth is that as much as your manager wants to help you, if you're not able to evidence the thing that you're doing, the progress and the improve or the addition, the value that you're adding to your team, it's going to be difficult for him to see that, or him or her to see your progress, right? So you need to be intentional. Don't be quiet. It doesn't mean that every problem that comes up you need to shout about it. No. But when you're working on a major project, when you're working on something that is going to add value or bring about efficiency or increase or improve speed, you need to be intentional about it. You need to be intentional about your problem solving. And that's for point 1. Point 2 is collaborate. Collaborate. I know the introverts hate to hear this one, and I can tell you personally for myself, being an introvert almost all my life, I found it really hard to collaborate or go into other teams, because I'm this kind of person that when I get into a new place, I try to familiarize myself with my immediate team. Then when I get comfortable, I get to interact with them a little bit more. But collaborating all the way to another team felt like, on what basis will I do that? Honey, do it. You need to do it. Because across the business, if your name is not sounding, if people don't get to know you, then it can be a really tricky one. I can tell you for a fact that just by a familiar name, when they're bringing up your case for a promotion, for a progression, or for a special request that you're making, oh, I know that name. Oh, is that John? Oh, is that Glory? Yeah, definitely, I think we can do that. A lot of the time in corporate, it's about not just the work that you do, but how you make people feel in doing that work. So that's point number 2. Make sure to collaborate in little tasks. As it might not even be anything massive, to be fair. But if you see that there's a point where you can get another team's input, get in touch with them. Oh, can I get a quick 5 minutes? Can I get a quick 2 minutes to just discuss this? Obviously, it's going to be like a proper 2 minutes, to be fair. But from there, you begin to build relationships, right? So collaborate. The third thing is make sure that you're working on projects that give you visibility. Yes. Make sure you're working those projects that are going to make you that's going to be looked at or going to be viewed by people that matter in the business. You need to be working on those projects. Now, how do you identify those projects? By asking questions. Obviously, you're not going to go in and say, oh, what are the major projects on this team? Obviously not. You need to understand the dynamics of that team. But just more observation, the things that people talk about, the things that are submitted into committees, into the board. From your observation, look at how your piece of work contributes into that, and begin to look for major improvement that you can do to that piece of work. Or if you're in a conversation and you hear your boss or your manager saying, oh, this is the problem we're facing, put your hands up. How do we solve this? Because a lot of the time, these bosses, they do know how to solve the problem. It's the time. They've not got the time, but that's where you come in. Because you're still in that level where you want to progress. So you've got quite some time to look into certain projects. Don't shy away. Don't hold yourself back. One of the big mistakes I've made, and I'm gradually coming out of that, is that I used to think that, well, I'm still a bit new, or maybe I was a trainee or an assistant. I don't know if I should put my hand up. Put it up. Put my hands up. I'll do it. Even if you don't know how to do it. But at the end of the day, you put yourself there. it puts you to accountability to do that task. Obviously, you don't know everything, so you're going to draw from the wealth of knowledge from maybe a line manager, different member of the team, another division. But you do need to be putting yourself forward for things. That's how you get yourself doing the project that gives you visibility. When your manager sees that with this small project, even without asking you, you put your hands up to solve it, you're building trust. They know that they can rely on you. So next time they'll come up to you and say, John, do you want to work on this project? Sarah, are you all right to do this? When your manager begins to call on you to say, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? They just gradually know that there's a part of them that's starting to trust you. But if all the time they're not calling on you, you're stuck in BAU, stuck in doing your routine tasks, then it's not a good sign. If you're not trying to progress, then maybe you keep doing that. But if you're trying to really climb up that ladder, then you do need to be putting your hands up and saying, I'll do that project. That's how you get to know what will give you the visibility that you need. Next point is that you need to be proactive about your progression. Have that conversation. I used to shy away from it and feel like, should we discuss salary? Should we discuss progression? Should we? Don't leave it for last minute. Let me tell you something. Chances are that when you first discuss progression, they're going to say, okay, right, we'll probably revisit this conversation in the next 3 months or in the next 6 months. Some people do that. So if you really wanted that progression at that moment, it's going to be frustrating for you thinking, I thought I'll get this. Why am I getting 3 months or in 6 months' time? So you don't need to be afraid. Discuss it. Be open about it. Talk about it. Have constant feedback. That's how to take your progress in your hands. That's how you can be proactive. Because a lot of the time, maybe your manager do want to tell, oh, you've done a great job, or these are the areas that you can improve. There's some people they kind of shy away from telling you the critical sides or giving you criticism. Well, you need those things. Don't shy away from criticism. That's another way to take your progression into your own hands. That way, you are able to identify the skills and the knowledge gap, and you're able to work on it such that when you have your next review, you're saying these are the things we discussed last time, and this is the progress, or these are the changes that I've made in that aspect. So your manager is saying that this person is proactive. This person wants this thing, and they're most likely gonna get it. So don't shy away from that. Don't leave it all on your manager. Your manager might be really kind, really sweet, pushing you, nudging you to go for big things. But ultimately, even your manager wants a progression as well. So don't leave it all to your manager. Have that talk. Can I just grab a quick 20 minutes? If you just give me, you tell me ahead of time, I just want to grab a quick 20 minutes, maybe at some point this week to discuss where I'm in my progression, in my progress. Then you get that feedback. They become more comfortable to give you feedback on how you can progress. You don't want to be in a position where it's time for the end of year review and you're surprised. You're meeting an unpleasant surprise and you're thinking, oh, I thought I was doing well, but you weren't getting feedback. You weren't having these reviews very often. So your final year review or end of year review should not be a shocker to you. It should be like, okay, yeah, I know this is the direction I would head into. So yes, discuss your progression, discuss salary negotiation. Obviously, you need to do those things with wisdom, but I'm going to be dropping more videos on how you can do that. The last but not the least, some people might like this, some people might not, but I would say attend some of the socials. Attend the socials. Now, you might be like me, a bit of an introvert, not liking to do too many outside. And I bet you sometimes when I attend some socials, I come back, I'm so tired. You have work the next day. There's some people that love it, right? But you do need to attend some of the socials. There are conversations, there are deals, there are things that can be discussed on an informal basis that will feel too serious to discuss over the desk or to discuss in your review. Trust me. When you start getting to know people on an informal basis, where your boss is telling you about his family, you're discussing one or two things with your colleagues, you'll be surprised the opportunities that are flying by in those kind of conversations. You discover this person tells you, yeah, this is what I did. I went to meet that person and I told them this and I got the promotion. So you do need to attend the socials, not just because you want to get the promotion, of course, right? But you need to have that sense of interaction. You don't want your colleagues to feel like when it's time for a social, of course, she's not going to be there or he's not going to come. You don't want to get to a point where they don't even send you an invite because they think you're not going to be there, right? Obviously, you cannot attend all of them. I don't attend all of them, right? But carefully pick, attend some. Don't make it a pattern. You might not be the most sociable person. I'm a believer, and personally, I don't believe in drinking alcohol. So it doesn't mean that you need to go and start drinking over there. No. When we're having drinks, there's always going to be an option for a soft drink, right? Well, I encourage you, please do take part in the socials. It's something that subconsciously registers in the minds of people. And this feels a little bit political, or is this not a bit biased? Or strategically look for the socials that are organized by certain people in the organization, the people that matter. Everyone matters in an organization, but you get what I mean. There's some things that are organized by people. If you're looking to get to that position, and then that person is like, oh, I'm organizing a social. If you can help. If you can attend, make sure you attend and they see you. Make sure you get to interact with them. Subsequently, I'll be dropping videos on how to do some interactions in those socials. So I just reiterate that everything is not just about opportunities, right? Because some people can smell it off you when you're a bit too opportunistic, when you're trying to get close to them simply because you want something. But the truth is that corporate is really based off relationships, right? You either have to be very good at what you're doing and do it well, and hopefully someone might notice you, which is good, or you leverage on relationships, right? You network with your immediate colleagues, with people in your other divisions and things like that. It's going to be useful. You don't have to talk to them all the time, or you're just going to, oh yeah, I know this person. That's one of the ways to get ahead in your career. But that's going to be it for this video. I don't want to make it too long. I hope these tips were very helpful for you. Let me know what bit resonates with you. If you've recently got a promotion, tell me how you did it. How did you go about it? What are the struggles or the challenges you face, especially as an introvert when it comes to socializing in the workplace? So that's going to be it for this video. Follow me for my next video when we talk about socializing in the workplace and how to leverage that. Well, in the meantime, bye for now. Click that subscribe button and then see you in my next one.